the landscape of artificial intelligence has just shifted, and it's not because of a new model release from Silicon Valley. Instead, the alarm bells are ringing from within the Redmond headquarters of Microsoft. For the last 2 years, the narrative has been that the West, led by OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic, held an insurmountable lead. But a series of internal warnings and market shifts suggest that while we were focused on intelligence, China was focused on infrastructure. We are witnessing a massive reorganization of global tech power, and today we're breaking down exactly how Microsoft believes the West might be losing the long game. For a long time, Western AI models have been treated like luxury goods, high performance but expensive to run and wrapped in heavy regulatory guardrails. However, Microsoft has issued a stark warning. China's AI ecosystem, led by models like DeepSeek, is becoming the Android to the West's iOS. Chinese models are being built for efficiency and aggressive cost reduction. While a US startup might spend millions to fine-tune a model on closed APIs, developers in emerging markets are turning to Chinese alternatives because they are often 1/10 of the price and offer performance that is good enough for 90% of business tasks. Microsoft's internal memo suggests that this isn't just a price war, it's a land grab for the foundational layer of the future internet. The real threat isn't just a single model being better than GPT-4, it's the ecosystem. Microsoft points out that across Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, developers are building their first AI-native applications on Chinese stacks. Once a developer builds their database, their API calls, and their user interface around a specific ecosystem, the switching costs become massive. If China wins the developers of the Global South today, they own the digital infrastructure of those nations for the next 20 years. Microsoft warns that if the West continues to gatekeep its best technology behind high costs and restrictive access, it will find itself isolated in a premium bubble, while the rest of the world runs on a Chinese standard AI. The AI Power Shift, Part 2, The Great Alliance and the Rise of the Agents. The Strategic Pivot, Why Apple Chose Google. For years, the tech industry speculated on how Apple would handle the AI revolution. Known for its walled garden, obsessive control, and experience, no one expected Apple to build everything from scratch. However, the sheer computational requirements and the breakneck speed of large language model development changed the strategy. Apple's decision to integrate Google's Gemini into the iPhone is perhaps the most significant partnership in the history of mobile computing. This wasn't a choice made out of weakness, but out of tactical necessity. Apple Intelligence is designed to handle on-device tasks, like summarizing emails and editing photos, using Apple's own efficiency. But for world knowledge queries, the kind that require searching the vast web of complex queries, Apple needs power. By choosing Gemini, Apple effectively bypassed the old start problem and building a search-capable LLM, while simultaneously securing Google as a subordinate layer within the iOS ecosystem. The multi-model architecture is the router strategy. What makes this development fascinating is that Apple isn't putting all its eggs in one basket. They are implementing what industry experts call an AI routing system. When you ask Siri a question in 2026, the device performs a split-second calculation on-device. Can this be solved locally for maximum privacy? Gemini. Is this a general knowledge or creative task that requires massive ChatGPT, is this a high-logic, multi-step reasoning problem? By creating this model switchboard, Apple ensures it's never overwhelmed. If OpenAI's GPT-5 surpasses Gemini, Apple can simply route more traffic that way. If Google offers a better deal, they shift back. This puts Apple in the ultimate position of power. They own the 2 billion users, and the AI labs must compete for the privilege of serving them. The shift from chatbots to agents, Anthropic's Claude 3.7 and beyond. While the Apple-Google deal dominates the headlines, the deeper architectural shift is happening in how we interact with software. We are living in a chatbot era, where you talk to robots, and entering the agentic era, where the AI talks to your computer. Anthropic's latest updates to Claude represent the tip of the spear in this transition. Traditionally, if you wanted to organize a folder of messy receipts, you had to upload them one by one, ask the AI to summarize them, and then manually create a spreadsheet. With the new computer use and co-work capabilities, Claude can now see your desktop. It can click buttons, move files, and type into applications just like a human assistant. This changes the fundamental value proposition of AI. It is no longer an advisor giving you a recipe. It is a chef in your kitchen actually cooking a meal. This level of agency is what will eventually make it a zero-UI experience, where your intent to execute it without you ever having to open a specific app. Vertical agents. The case of Manus and specialized AI beyond general-purpose agents like Claude, we are seeing the rise of vertical agents. AI systems built for one specific high-value workflow. The Manus platform mentioned in the report is a prime example of this. In the corporate world, the meeting is the center of gravity. Manus doesn't just record audio, it acts as a chief of staff. It tracks who said what, cross-references those statements with previous projects, and by the time you leave the room, it has already drafted the follow-up emails, created the PowerPoint slides discussed, and updated the project management board. This is the productivity multiplier that businesses have been waiting for. It removes the friction of work, the administrative overhead that eats up 60% of most employees' days. The economic impact. The intelligence commodity. As these agents become more capable, the economic value of basic intelligence is trending towards zero. If an agent can do the work of a junior analyst, what happens to the entry-level job market? The Apple, Google, Anthropic trifecta suggests a future where human value is shifted toward curation and oversight. We are moving into a world where your primary skill isn't doing the work, but managing the agents that do the work. The alliance between Apple and Google ensures that this capability will be in the pocket of every person on Earth, democratizing high-level executive assistance at a scale never before imagined. The AI Power Shift, Part 3. The Physical Frontier in the Era of Autonomous Commerce. The robotics breakthrough from code to kinetic intelligence. For decades, robotics was the hard problem of technology. While software could scale at the speed of light, hardware was stuck in the slow lane of atoms and physics. But in early 2026, the barrier between digital intelligence and physical movement has finally dissolved. The catalyst for this shift is a concept called the world model. Companies like 1X Technologies, backed by OpenAI, have introduced the 1XWM, 1X World Model, into their flagship humanoid robot, NEO 11108. To understand why this is a revolution, we have to look at how robots used to learn. Traditionally, a robot needed thousands of hours of teleoperation, where a human wearing a VR suit manually guided its arms to pick up a cup or fold a shirt. This was slow, expensive, and didn't scale. The 1XWM changes the game by using internet-scale video pre-training. Instead of just learning from robot data, the AI has watched millions of hours of human videos on the internet. It understands the physics of the world, how a glass shatters, how cloth folds, and how a door handle turns before it ever enters a physical room. The power of video rollouts. When NEO stands in your kitchen and you ask it to clean the counter, it doesn't just execute a pre-written script, it performs a video rollout in its mind. 1148. It generates multiple internal simulations of the future. Simulation A. It uses too much force and knocks over the vase. Success score low. Simulation B. It moves the vase first, then wipes the surface. Success score high. Only after imagining the most successful outcome does the robot move its physical limbs. This is the same way the human brain functions. We simulate the result of our actions before we take them. This allows robots to achieve generalization, meaning they can handle objects and environments they have never seen before without needing specific training. 12 to 38. The hardware. Human-level dexterity intelligence is useless without the hands to execute it. NEO is designed with a tendon-driven system inspired by the human musculoskeletal system, rather than traditional rigid gears. This gives it compliance. If it bumps into a human, it yields rather than causing injury. With 20-plus degrees of freedom in its hands alone, we are seeing robots that can perform bimanual coordination, holding a bag with one hand while reaching inside with the other to pull out groceries. 17. The final pillar, agentic commerce and the UCP. If part 1 was about the brain, models, and part 2 was about the workers, agents, part 3 is about the economy. For AI to be truly autonomous, it needs the ability to transact. In early 2026, Google unveiled the Universal Commerce Protocol, UCP, a new open standard that serves as the financial nervous system for AI. Now 1301. How the Universal Commerce Protocol works. Currently, shopping is a high-friction experience. You search, click a link, browse a site, add to cart, enter shipping info, and pay. The UCP collapses this entire journey into a single conversation. Discovery. You tell Gemini, I need a high-quality yoga mat that doesn't slip and can be delivered by tomorrow. Negotiation. Gemini uses the UCP to talk directly to the APIs of retailers like Walmart, Target, Shopify, and Etsy. It doesn't just look at a website, it negotiates for the best price, checking for loyalty rewards and exclusive discounts. 26. Execution. Once you give the thumbs up, the agent uses your Google Wallet or PayPal credentials to finalize the purchase. You never visit the retailer's website. The transaction happens entirely within the AI interface. The business agent revolution retailers aren't just passive participants in this. Through the UCP, brands are launching their own business agents. If you have a question about a product's warranty or technical specs, your personal agent talks to the brand's agent. This agent-to-agent, A2A communication happens in milliseconds, solving customer service issues and processing returns without a single human phone call or chat box. Naswam, the geopolitical endgame, the new wealth of nations. As we look at the total picture of 2026, Microsoft's warning about China, Apple's model-agnostic strategy, and Google's commerce protocols, a clear theme emerges. Intelligence is the new oil. The nations and companies that control the agentic stack will control the global economy. China is winning on efficiency and scale, making AI accessible to the developing world. The US is winning on integration and ecosystems, making AI an invisible, indispensable part of our daily hardware and financial lives.